We bring you the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. The second day of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s state visit in Indonesia was very productive. Press Secretary Trixie Cruz Angeles said the president accomplished so much in an entire day. Marcos, together with the Philippine delegation, met with Indonesian President Joko Widodo and other Indonesian officials in a bilateral meeting at the Bogor Presidential Palace in West Java. Marcos also had a roundtable discussion with business leaders in Indonesia at the Fairmont Hotel, Jakarta. During the meeting between Marcos and Widodo, they signed 4 pacts between the Philippines and Indonesia on defense and border cooperation, cultural cooperation, creative economy, and a plan of action for bilateral cooperation. Widodo proposed the revitalization of Roro shipping routes between Bitung and Davao and the reopening of Manado-Davao flight route. Indonesia also encouraged the increase of export of food and beverages, pharmaceuticals, coconut, and seaweed products. Widodo is also looking forward to intensified cooperation in infrastructure and strategic industries. In a post on his official Facebook page, Marcos expressed confidence that the agreements they signed will benefit not just the 2 countries, but the entire ASEAN region.
I expressed my belief to President Widodo that this partnership between Indonesia, between Indonesia and the Philippines, but these partnerships that we make with all our partners and allies and friends around the world will be of critical importance so that we remain stable as we grow out of the pandemic economy. And we work together and help each other to develop regional peace and regional development. And for that, I thank once again the President for his very kind invitation. I believe that we have made the proper choice in coming to Jakarta as my first state visit as President of the Philippines. And I believe that this is only the beginning of many more things to come between Indonesia and the Philippines.
Meanwhile, Malacanang confirms that Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo has raised the case of Mary Jane Veloso with his Indonesian counterpart Retno Marsudi. Press Secretary Trixie Cruz Angeles said the Department of Foreign Affairs continued to look for solutions for Veloso, who was convicted of drug trafficking in the year 2010. Cruz Angeles said no other details are available because of the sensitivity of the issue, but assured that the DFA is doing its absolute best. Veloso's parents have asked President Bongbong Marcos to request Jokowi to give their daughter executive clemency. Veloso was meted the death penalty in 2010. She, however, insisted that her recruiters tricked her into carrying a suitcase that contained illegal drugs in its seams. Her recruiters, Maria Cristina Sergio and Julius Lacanilao, have been charged with human trafficking, illegal recruitment, and estafa. Meanwhile, Senator Robin Hood Badilla has filed a bill seeking for the protection of workers in the entertainment industry. Badilla, who is also the chairman of the Senate Committee on Public Information and Mass Media, said his Senate Bill number 450, or the Eddie Garcia Law, aims to provide guidelines for safe and better working conditions of the workers in the industry. It also serves as a tribute to the veteran actor who died in 2019 during the taping of a television series. Garcia hit his head when he tripped on a cable wire. He fell into a coma and succumbed to complications 12 days after the accident. Meanwhile, the executive director of the Presidential Task Force on Media Security, or PTFOMS, Joel C. Egco, is calling for the inclusion of media workers in the proposed law. In an interview, Egco highlights the contribution of workers both in the media and entertainment in strengthening the democracy in the country. In other news, more than 257,000 indigent students have received educational assistance from the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD. DSWD spokesperson Romel Lopez reports that the department has successfully disbursed 649 million pesos during the first 3 Saturdays of the payout, and the remaining 900 million pesos will be disbursed until September 24. The DSWD implements an online registration wherein applicants will be notified via text or email on the schedule of their payout. Walk-ins are not allowed to avoid chaos at the venue. But for those who have no access to gadgets or online registration, the DSWD piloted an off-site payout, particularly for those who live in geographically isolated areas and those that have no capacity to do online registrations. Among the pilot areas for off-site payouts are Calabarzon, Mimaropa, and Western Visayas.
Despite nga po, nung una sabihin na natin rough start ng ating educational assistance para po sa ating mga indigent at in crisis po na mga mag-aaral, natutuwa po ang DSWD na ibalita na nasa 257,285 na po na mga mag-aaral o beneficiaries yung naabot po ng ating programa. Kabuuan pong halaga ng nagi sa kanila, Sir Aljo, ay nasa 649 million. Ito po yung napamamahagi na natin. Sa ating pong breakdown, pinakamarami pong naabot ng ating tulong, yung pong ating mga college at vocational students. Nasa 85,000 na po mahigit yung ating pong natutulungan. Sunod po yung ating mga elementary students na nasa 79,700 plus. Sunod po yung ating mga high school students na nasa 56,600. Habang pinakahuli po yung ating mga senior high na almost 36,000 po, Sir Aljo. So ulitin po natin, 257,285 beneficiaries na po ang ating naabot. 649.8 million pesos naman po yung ating pong napamamahagi na ng tulong. So safe to say, mga almost 900 million pesos pa po yung ating pondong nalalabi, at naniniwala po tayo na sapat po ito hanggang sa ating payout po, yung last date payout po natin sa September 24.
In our news overseas, a magnitude 6.6 earthquake struck southwestern China yesterday, killing at least 46 people, damaging houses and cutting off electricity in some areas. The U.S. Geological Survey said the earthquake hit about 43 kilometers southwest of the city of Kangding in Sichuan province. Chinese state broadcaster CCTV said that 17 people died in Ya'an City, while 29 were killed in Guangxi Prefecture. Another 16 people were reported missing and 50 were injured. The quake also shook buildings in the provincial capital of Chengdu, where millions are under a strict COVID lockdown, and in nearby Chongqing. Hundreds of rescue workers were dispatched to the epicenter along with more than 1,000 soldiers. President Xi Jinping called for local authorities to prioritize saving lives, rescue people in disaster-stricken areas, and minimize loss of life. And that is the latest from the Pna Newsroom. Stay tuned for more updates on the biggest stories throughout the day. I am William Theo. Good afternoon to all.